Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto, and here is a heck of a lot of news. There's so much news that I had to leave some out. Maybe I'll drop some articles later on today. But let's start with Chainlink and Swift. Actually, let's start with this moisturizer because feeling a little dry. So apparently, Chainlink and Swift have. I told you about CCIP. I want to say September of last year. I think September 29th. They started their CCIP platform, which is basically blockchain, and Chainlink is a huge part of that experiment, of that solution actually. So they actually went through a tokenization process involving several different banking institutions, and guess what? It was a success. So what does that mean for other cryptos trying to get into the banking industry? It's going to be tougher because the sleeping giant woke up. And I said this back then, and here we are now. So when you look at this, you start to say to yourself, well, it took them a really long time to wake up, and these other projects are really doing well. Yeah, that's nice. But Swift is already in 11,000 banks plus around the world. So if they introduce a tokenization process, it's probably going to be successful. Not to say that they'll be the only one. They won't. We all know that XRP has several banks are doing their own, rolling their own, but they were rolling their own because Swift was sleeping. So this could be a game changer. This could really be a game changer. So I'm paying attention to this. One of the other reasons why I'm paying attention to this is because I love Chainlink. It is one of the things that I call connective tissue. When I say connective tissue, I mean something that is connected to so many different areas, so many different spaces. They are the world's largest crypto oracle. And because of that, they enjoy partnerships with a lot of different companies around the world. So you put the biggest oracle with Swift network, biggest banking network, and what do you get? Yeah, it's going to be successful. I don't care what anybody says. Now, PayPal's PYUSD, their stablecoin, is going to be listed on Coinbase. That's a big deal because Coinbase is the biggest in the United States. Now, when I look at that, I kind of sit back and I go, yeah, that's going to be successful. Do you want to know why I think it's going to be successful? It's because PayPal has a big name. And because they have a big name, they're going to leverage that for their stablecoin, and people are going to start being able to trust using their stablecoin to do transactions. So I fully expect them to go up. I think they're at 439 or ranked. It's 439, 300. There's someplace up there in terms of rankings. I expect them to start moving up the list as their market cap grows. That's what I'm really expecting. So when I look at that, I'm just saying, yeah, it's just going to be a matter of time. And notice it's a stable coin. It's not a coin that I'm going to go in and I'm going to make money like, directly like that. It's a stable coin. And what I'm looking for that stable coin to do is bring more adoption. That's what I'm looking for. So pay attention to that. There is an article out there. I'm not going to tell you who has the article. And they're talking about that there were some closed door conversations within the SEC that could lead to a settlement with Ripple. I don't really put stock in it, but I am starting to do more research into it to see what else I can find out. If I can find out something, I'll bring it to the table, but I want you to be aware that there could be some FUD out there about such a settlement. I'm not saying it's false. I'm not saying it's true. I'm saying the news is out there, and we need to do a heck of a lot more research into it. Nexo. Nexo had a ton of trouble in the United States over regulatory concerns. Back in January, they had to drop $45 million in settlements for the SEC and states around the country. Now, when you look at that, you think, they're done. They're not done. They just cut a deal with MasterCard to offer what they're calling the first dual mode card. It can do debit, it can do credit, and to bring it home further, the card even has a freaking royalty program, a loyalty program. So I'm just like, wow, you have a reward program, you've got dual mode. What does that actually mean? And if it works in Europe, that could be big. we could actually be looking at a real deal. Like MasterCard is making moves. They've dropped Binance, but they're showing that they are making moves, right? If that works out, if that continues to work out, you're going to start to see more lines get blurred by traditional finance, right? And crypto. That's what I'm talking about. That is the big deal. That's the big deal. Yes, it's happening in Europe, but that's going to affect the global economy. And we should be paying attention. There are advantages to that. So do your own research and start to dig in. And on my last note for today, we're going to talk about OpenSea. So Mark Cuban agrees with me, and he's an investor in OpenSea, so I know it's painful for him. They're in F around and find out mode. Actually, they're in the find out mode of their F around and find out mode. August has brought them their lowest transaction rates ever. And you could easily point to, hey, maybe you should turn your royalty program back on and say it's there permanently, because that's what Rarible did. Rarible said, no, we already participate in the royalty programs, and we will forever do that. That's going to continue to chip away at OpenSea's market share. Now, OpenSea can come back, but I think they've put the nail in the coffin with losing chunks of their market share. And I think we're going to continue to see that. All right. I think we're seriously going to continue to see that. So with these big moves, what I'm looking at is, things are looking up. Because people are sitting back and they're saying, well, why did everything go down yesterday? The reason why everything went down yesterday is simply because down the road when it comes to Bitcoin spot ETFs, period. They have 240-day max to actually make a decision. They're going to take that whole 240 days. Don't think anything else. If something else happens and something happens sooner, great. Do I think that's going to happen? No. They're going to continue to kick the can down the road, right? So when I look at everything, I'm sitting back and I'm saying to myself, they're only kicking the can down the road. Do you hear the difference? The difference is that, yeah, they are delaying an inevitability. That's it. That's all they're doing. Right? The grayscale decision forces them to either approve, pull back on future ETFs, Bitcoin futures ETFs, revoke those, or find another reason to kick and deny that grayscale flip, right? That's the problem. Now, when I was looking at this, I said, well, what else could they do? They could approve the conversion of Grayscale's ETF to a spot, right? Their trust, to a spot, and still make everybody else wait. And the reason why is because it's different. It's already a trust. They've already amassed an enormous amount of Bitcoin, and they want to convert that into another vehicle. That's a different situation than, hey, I'm just showing up. Yeah, I've got some Bitcoin, but I don't have a trust or anything like that. And I just want to, I want a spot ETF, please. So they could still cause problems. But I don't think that's what they're going to do. That's very slim. So that's why you saw the market go down. Excuse me, I'm not going to bother to go through the numbers. We already know what the numbers are. We'll continue going through the numbers next week. I hope you all have a great Labor Day weekend. That's what I'm hoping for. Anyway, this is Eddie J on Crypto. I hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.